Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no.
I want us to do what is scientific. We're going to use 18 minutes to check. How much?
You don't go Gula.
No. Who's 8? What do you want to 8? So, escort. We're going to reduce the escort. I will use the right figure.
1.33
No, let's not go there. Let's not go there. I want you to do what is conservative.
Oh.
Their export is 1 trillion. Conservative. If you divide 1 trillion with 80 million, I think it's about 12,500. Richard, is that right?
Your calculator makes it
Is that correct? Huh? Okay. So every German, every year, that is what it contributes to export.
Even the children.
That's even the truth.
Even the
Nigeria is a country
200
of
million.
200 million. I'm going to use a rate which they are not happy with. Our export last year is 18 trillion naira. 18 trillion 900 billion naira. That's our total export. Which, if you divide by their own official rate, it gives you 47. If you divide it with my own rate, which is the correct rate, it gives you about 30 billion. I use 650. So, the country where you live, the value of export per person is 12,500. In Nigeria, the 530 billion with 200 is $150. So if you decide to say, my target is that every export per population will move to $500. $500 multiplied 200 million is $100 million. That will bring your rate of exchange and stability to about 500 million. So these are not rocket science. They are done by other countries of the world. The man who is leading has to know these numbers, so he can measure them. This is where our thoughts come. Can you listen? In Borno State, in Niger State, Borno State is where we started to have the issue of Boko Haram, and we need to deal with it. The same is happening in Niger State. Niger State is 76.3 square kilometers of So Niger State, if you minus water, Netherlands is 33,000 square kilometers. So Niger State is 2.5 times Netherlands. They can't feed themselves. They can't feed Nigeria. They can't export anything. Netherlands last year, total export of Netherlands last year is 600 and something billion dollars. But don't leave their export, the agricultural part of it, component of it, is about $120 billion. So if only Niger State did 1% of Netherlands export, 1%, we're not asking to go to 10. They have 2.5 times the land. They have fertile land. So if they did only 1%, it's $1.2 billion. At my own rate, that would be about 750 billion naira, which is almost 5%, 5 times their budget. I need to go down to and they'll be able to push their people back to farm. They'll be able to put people out of poverty. The criminality you see today, the more you see people, the more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. Imagine what it is. If all of us, I don't know where the next day will come from. Nobody can determine what we're going to do. Because we'll be also. That is what is happening in your country. So, my dear people, next year election, I don't want people to follow Peter Obi because it's from the Southeast. I don't want us to follow Peter Obi because he's related to you or because he speaks good English. We must remove tribe. We must remove religion. We must remove religion. It will not be about connection. So the entitlement. Next year's election, all these will be removed. We must replace them, like I said before. Character, competence, capacity, and competence. This child that gave me flower today, that flower would have been grown in America. There's a state called Taraba in Nigeria. Taraba is a state occupying 54.6 square kilometers. With Mandela. So, can grow flower, can grow tea, can grow coffee. Kenya exported flour of over $500 million last year. And I went to the flour field. Young boys and girls that work there are being paid $100. But the people in Tanzania are begging for food. Ethiopia exported coffee of $1.1 billion. But people in Tanzania are begging for food. Sarah Lincoln with all their problems. They exported tea, $1.4 billion. Imagine if Taraba had done 10% of this trade product. 10%. That's $300 million, which is about 200 billion, which is more than their budget. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to contribute. That is what I said. And if we are doing those things, you know who will be the investor and those who will be handling the export. You. Because you will now come back and invest in those farms and everything with your resources and create an export market here. That's what other people are doing. Yes, sir. But now what do? Work hard 24 hours, send money for people only to eat. They get up every morning. They get up every morning and tell you we are hungry. They get up every morning and tell you, when these people get up here and say they are hungry, who will give them this? Yeah? So, it cannot work. It cannot work. It has to stop. Those people there, everybody has to be protected. Yes, sir. Because the sun, nobody exists. You know? Some even thought, oh, without blame, some even blame that is the way God wants it, or think that is to happen in them. No, I don't think what is happening to Germany here, this is for by prayers. It's after work that you pray, and it will work. But if you have not produced anything, so my dear people, I think it's a sacrifice of coming out this evening to listen to me, for us to interact. I want to learn from you. But remember, this young girl represents what we must all do. Put the picture of the children on the wall and ask yourself, what society are we going to do for the children? Where do we want us to live? We have talented people, young people in the productive age, who can change this world if we give them the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of talent in Nigeria. All they want is somebody who can show them. If Nigerians have faith in Nigeria today, because if they have a leader, they can trust. And there's a hope. I can assure you Nigeria will change the world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
All of you can become of it. Let's stop this abuse by taking revenge on all of us, and we take what's revenge on our children. God bless all of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Could you please take your seats? When you see when you see a man who is ready, nobody tells you that when the person that will lead us, that will show us the way, so that we can actualize ourselves as a country, appears. Nobody will tell you that. We thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your words. I wonder if anybody, after such an inspirational talk, would like to say something, but we all have opportunities to ask questions, so we are going into it right away. The questions will have to be very short and relevant.
30 seconds.
If you try to take more of my time, I'm going to snatch the microphone out of your hands.
30 seconds.
It has to be very short and to the point. So, for those who are watching from across the globe online, because this is being live streamed, we will take questions too. We know that you are there, and we appreciate the fact that you guys decided to join us tonight. So, first of all, I will go, they say ladies first. So I will go with the lady who would like to take the first question. Okay, you start first. Short, direct to the point.
30 seconds.
Good evening, Mr. Peter Obi. Our protocol duly observed. My name is Ukamaka Anedu. I'm a student of Hamblif Stats from NRUB. And my question is, you've been mentioning other places where you would touch, like security and economy. We've not heard you talk about technology. Like myself, I'm studying electronics engineering, and my sister, Shoma Nzekwe, she's organizing Women in STEM.
Question.
In Germany, I know. So, please, my question is, where is our stand if you happen to win next year's election?
Thank you. Okay, we relax. It will get to everybody. This is an interactive session. The ladies first, okay? Just let's. We are going to gather a few, and you will take them. After that, we'll gather another set of questions, okay?
My name is Gloria Ulo. Actually, I've been campaigning online already by Facebook for you without even knowing you. But I'll tell you why I chose you out of the 3 aspirants. I saw a video of you actually rolling your own luggage at an airport in Nigeria. And that was enough for me to know that that's the man we need for Nigeria. That's all. And my question is, I have 4 children, and they've been in Nigeria when they were tiny, when we still had security. Now, all my friends all over Africa, they go home every day summer. I can't take my kids to Nigeria because it's not secure. So my question is, how do you intend to bring back security concretely to Nigeria?
Thank you very much. That's a question on security. The very first question was on technology, security. Then we'll go for a man now, and then we'll oblige His Excellency
I will
to
take one online.
This set of questions before we go into another one. Relax. Question, direct and short.
30 seconds, guys. You can make it.
My His Excellency Mr. Toby, I am Apostle Prophet Dr. Friday George.
Stop. Let me speak my question. Let me please, question. Go on.
My question is on the issues of agriculture.
Okay.
How do you improve the issue of agriculture in Nigeria? Because there's a lot of starvations an economic crisis.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good. Please, just do us the favor. You can introduce yourself very shortly. Go directly to your question. We have every other person here who wants to ask a question or say something. So if you try to monopolize this, it will not be fair. Thank you. The next set is coming. Let's take this one. Okay? He will answer it once first. You go to the next three. One more. Two more.
Your Excellency, my name is William Mikalo.
Afterwards,
My question is on the issue of FWD, which has passed the Honorable in the Finance Senate law. So what do you have to intend to complete the cement to allow 2 million Nigerians in diaspora to vote in the election?
Thank you. One more question. We have a question from online viewers. Your Excellency, sir, my question is, how do you intend to solve the power problem? Are you going to privatize it completely? Kindly give details. So we will go for these ones now, and then the next set will come in. Thank you.
No.
Yes, it please.
Sorry. Very simple. There's 5 questions here. I'll start with my little sister, who wants to know more about the technology. The truth is that you can't talk about the world today without talking about technology. When I said we're going to deal with human capital development, you don't need to. It's about education. Today, the world is driven by knowledge. So nobody, if you don't want, if the more investment you put in education, the better your economy. And you can't talk about education without talking about technology, because everything moves from, we're not concentrating in STEM education. Technology vacancies by year 2030 is running over 30 million. So you need to invest in it, because you need opportunities for people, so that you can take it as given. I said here, we will aggressively invest in human capital development. Security. Come and listen to you. I live in Nigeria. No country can talk, I said it here when I was talking. You can't talk about investment, you can't talk about, and they are poorly equipped. You listen to the governor of Katsina, which is the most important state, consider the president comes from there, said that they have only, Google it, about 5,000 police in Katsina, and in some police stations, they have only 30 police with 10 guns. So you have 30. So if you use that as a national average, that means that even the 300,000 we have, only 100,000 equipped. That needs to be aggressively changed. Another component needs to be supported by state police. There's no reason why we should not have police at all levels. As governor of Anambra State, I funded all community security systems. Those in Anambra State will know. I bought vehicles, security vehicles for every community. That's what is important. That's why they say, you go and check. So that nobody comes to tell story. We're tired of story. Not in 2023. So it's important. We deal with it. My brother also asked for agriculture.
God bless you, sir. Now we know that.
Agriculture is very important. First, let me tell you, I talked about agriculture when I talked about Netherlands. Oil is important. But the biggest asset of Nigeria is the vast uncultivated land we have in the north. You must put money there. Cultivate, and people turn it into manufactured goods for export. If you go to America today, the biggest economy, the biggest richest state is not Texas. It's not number one. It's not number two. It's not number three. It's about number 4. Yeah, that's where the oil is. The biggest state is California. 3.3 trillion economy. Which is 8 times Nigerian GDP. One state. And that is where, what is their product? Agriculture and technology. So you can see this is the combination. You can't go wrong with it. It's important. Agriculture is important. That's why I'm voting. Must. If I'm president of Nigeria, 2027 they will vote.
Yes.
Why is it important that they vote? Because I can tell you, in as much as those in Nigeria become victim of bad governance, you actually was victim.
Yes.
No, not just that you actually was victim. Because you are personally, when you call it the exile or refugee or anything. But on top of that, on top of the fact that you're not even where you would have loved to be, you don't even have peace staying here. Because you still have to struggle to send something home. For every phone call you get, so when we talk about God governance, when I was governor, I used to go, wherever I traveled, I didn't come to Germany, but I used to go all over the world. And when I go to places like when I go to America, they say, oh, this man bought house there, this man bought house there. Want me to buy house there? Yes. Buy the Nigerian leader who bought house. So I asked him, Peter, buy house there. What are you doing in the house in America? I live in the house in London when I live in London in my own house. And I asked, But what am I going to buy a house in America, buy a house in South Africa? Hey, what do you mean? What madness is that? And most it will cost me, maybe after this week, maybe I come to Germany maybe 3-4 times in a year. And I just pass through there for one night. Another one night probably cost me to maximum 250 euros to sleep in a hotel. I don't think I know you need more than that. So, that is what I say. I'm not saying tomorrow, but all that is so if that is my cost, that is the €1,000 for the 4 trips. Even if it doubles, it's 2,000 euros. If I buy a house here, it will cost me 500,000 euros.
No more.
Okay, no. I'm just saying, for somebody like me, for somebody on my test, maybe it will cost up to 1 million euros. So for 1 million euros, there's no way taxman will not take from me 20,000 every year. Tell me, why should anybody do that? Plus light, plus heating, plus other bills that follows, plus water bill, everything. So at the end of the day, keeping that house can cost me as much as 40,000-50,000 euros. For something that will cost me 1,000 euros. Even if I have the money, I keep it in my country, in a bank. They will pay me 5%. 5% is 50,000 euros. That money is lent to somebody who uses to do business, who makes money, employs them. For the 50,000, I take 2,000 and come here, have the same benefit. Final question is power. Power is important to us. In a developing country, for every 1,000 megawatts of electricity, this is an estimated, that for every 1,000 megawatts of electricity you generate, you add half to 1% to your GDP. The consequence is that Nigeria today, if a committed government can generate, distribute in 5 years, can move from 5,000 to 15,000. Could be more. So by adding that 10,000 megawatts of electricity on top of 5,000 that is there, and make sure that it's efficiently distributed, which will not cost you more than $10-12 billion. You're going to add another 10% to our GDP. And I'll tell you more. And with that, you can put 5 million people out of poverty. And for 5 million people you pull out of poverty, you multiply them. It's very easy. So there people, all the questions you answered here is what we said in the momentum that we need to face aggressively. So your voting is critical. Nobody is going to give you money to vote. Anybody who takes, anybody that is giving 5,000 here or 10,000 here to vote, the person deserves life in prison. Because he's a great person. So how many people take?
Great.
Don't worry, we'll try as much as possible. That's why I'm here, not going anywhere.
Great. Can you clap to that?
That's why I said, everyone has come home, standing where I'm standing like that, I'm talking to you.
Thank you. Okay, we will have, you can now see. You can now see that he has given us the opportunity to interact with it. So everybody should calm down. It will get to you.
It is important that we do this because let me tell you, everything you do here, I'm collecting it. People don't know how I bought computer in schools. I bought computer and buses for secondary schools in Alabama. Every secondary school I visited, the children told me what they want. So when we connected it, we put it together, and I said, look at what they want. You have to start from there. So your questions are not just questions. I'm collecting all of it because when I leave you tomorrow, I'm going to grow from there. I'm going to Canada, going to US. So what people are saying is what makes it. I'm learning.
That's great. Thank you, Your Excellency. Okay, good. The next round of questions.
Thank you, sir. You're highly welcome, Your Excellency. I know you don't want to be addressed like that.
Nobody's excellent, but you like
Exactly. The country is in the mess. Please, sir, I'm asking my question. There's a young man here, as we spoke about education. He has not met you, but he told me he has PhD from Switzerland, and he's here today. But you paid for his education because he wrote you a letter when he was in university.
Please, give him mic. Give him mic. No. Stay.
Okay, we want the beneficiaries of his educational vision to say something, just a word.
Thank you so much for this
I want you to make a
opportunity.
picture.
So my name is Chukwebuka Edum. I'm a doctor, but Chukwebuka Edum, you can call me Chukwebuka Edum. So this is my second time of meeting Mr. Peter Obi. I met him first when I was still studying at the University of Ibadan. So I've already previously presented University of Ibadan in 2 different competitions. Then I wrote a letter and I was recommended to attend a summer program in Switzerland. So I wrote a letter to Mr. Peter Obi indicating that I would want to attend this workshop, but I cannot afford it, and this is the expenses. And I was surprised that Mr. Peter Obi read my letter, called me, invited me to the government house, and told me they are going to fund my participation. Since then, I've not been able to meet Mr. Peter Obi.
8 years now.
8 years now. And after, it was at the workshop that I discovered there's opportunity for me to do my master's in Switzerland. So I returned back to Nigeria, applied for the funding to do in the Swiss government to do for my master's. And after my master's, I did my PhD, and I'm now a lecturer. I'm a consultant in the US. I came from Switzerland because I thought it was a good opportunity for me to Peter Obi.
He's a big man now. I was looking at my picture and him then.
Can we see, please? Can we see the picture? Can we see it?
Thank you so much.
He's not a big man, so I'm smaller now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Verified.
You can see the man with a vision, and then he has done this for a lot of people from Anambra State, and we are very grateful that such a man is trying to be our president. Can we clap for that, please? Great. The guy who introduced this topic has not finished his question. So let's give him the opportunity to do that, please.
Thank you, sir. Yes, it's important that we acknowledge what we have done, what we have done. But we look like I drove 4 hours and then I met him here. He's the first person who flew from Switzerland, and he gave me the picture and I said, no, this must get to the world. But my question is the fundamental things you're talking about in three questions in order, but in very fast. Number one, when we talk about planning for development, you talk about Human Development Index. And when you talk about that, in Nigeria, we don't even know how many people we are. We just say 200 and something million. How can you target development to people you don't even know how many they are? If I'm driving my car, the police stands behind me, they punch in my number, they can know my address and my name. That way they can plan for security, they can plan for economy and everything. What are you going to do about the census in Nigeria to be accurate? Secondly, we talk about internal security, but what about external security? When you talk about, I heard you talk about security as a renewable asset, which is phenomenal, such an insight. So are we going to plan for the future? Because we don't even have a frigate for a country that calls itself the giant of Africa. If there is a war tomorrow, what are we going to do? Because we're struggling internally, what of externally? The third one.
No. Okay. So it's enough. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, please do us a favor. It is not fair on others when you monopolize the question time. Ask one question, let others contribute as well.
So you
Wait, the woman now, and then we come to a man and the woman.
I have a simple question.
No, he's wait a minute. Excellency.
Okay, good. Thank you. I wanted your attention. So my question is regarding the PVC registration, because looking at since you came out and announced your candidacy, a lot of young people are willing, very hungry to have you as our president. But right now we are facing the problem that people are not able to register. And I'm wondering, from the Labour Party, what is your agenda at this moment? How do you think you can solve this problem to get INEC to have people registered and we can have people that can actually come to vote for you? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, a guy.
I'm here.
Go ahead.
Your Excellency, my question, my name is Olufemi Agbebi. My question is about how do you want to stay clear of corrupt politicians? We know how politics works in Nigeria, you know. It's about they invest in your campaign and you have to give them some kind of compensation in terms of political appointment or in terms of contracts.
Great question.
And we know how this normally affects performance. So the performance of governance starts right from the campaign. So how do you want to stay clear of corrupt politicians? And we can see they're already coming around you. Thank you.
The Reverend Sister of the club.
Standing on existing protocol, Mr. Peter Obi, you said we should call you. I'm Mr. Christian and Frankfurt. My question is that you have been focusing on internal issues. And most of the time, I don't know whether it's a conspiracy theory or what, but it stands somehow to be true that sometimes 60% of issues are internal, and then the remaining 30-25% will be external in terms of international politics. And sometimes we realize that when we look at what happened to Libya or what happened in Zimbabwe, how some of these, those who are leaders of the government, so to say, are being influenced, whether they are able to adjust to the interests of the powers that rule the world. So how are you going to cope with this? No shishi, no shishi is not just about the channel, but also about raising the country to stand among others, to talk on the same table at equal terms. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And we have limited time, so we are going to rush a few more questions in so that he could take them in his stride. Right, okay. He will address these ones and then we will take the other ones. Okay?
I'll start with the last one. Well, let me tell you, our foreign policy remains African focused. Africa is going to be the center of our foreign policy. And in doing so, we work hard in bringing good governance in Africa, as well as ensuring peace in Africa and being involved with issues of trade and investment within Africa. It's always good often to blame external interference. The reality is that if you do the right thing, it's like somebody's house. If you're doing the right thing, it's difficult for somebody to come and start bringing problems in your house. If you live well with your wife, children, everything, no matter how different people have, it's difficult for a external person to come in. A external person comes in when you don't have. So for me, it's just to deal with the internal crisis we're facing due to a robust and thriving economy. Countries are respected for their internal stability and their economy. When you hear G8, G7, G10, G20, G anything, it's based on economy. If you're healthy inside and you're stable, everybody will want to deal with you. And at that stage, your external or your foreign policies stemming by your local stability and economy. And that's why your relationship. For example, Nigeria is a very huge market, 200 million people. Imagine if we have resources. At the time, British Airways, British Airways, everybody was to Nigeria. Now they're beginning to give us conditions. We will stop coming to Nigeria because of it. So, yes, external influences are there, but they become more prominent when you're weak. Like every human being, when you're weak, everybody throws everything to you. Issue of corruption and corrupt politicians. Let me tell you, when I was talking, I said we have zero tolerance for corruption. One of the worst things that can happen to a country is corruption. The reason why it's so is that corruption kills three things that makes a country work. Corruption kills entrepreneurship. Nobody thinks how to create gain. It kills professionalism. It kills hard work. Why would I be hardworking when this man can make money just like that? Why would a professor doing research to be a professor when a council or local government chairman can make more money than a professor? In this country, in America, I know for sure that if you go to California, Stanford professors earn as much, if not more, than the governor of California. It's the opposite. So it's important that we get it right. I don't think the professors in Harvard or their top schools earn less than members of State House of Assemblies in about such a Congress in America, or even National Congress in America. So this is important. But people tell you it's difficult to fight corruption. I don't believe that. If you, the principal person, is not stealing, you first, so we eliminate it. Your family is not. Those around you are not. You reduce it by 70%. Correct. Because you have to add your own. Let me tell you, this is the
Monitor it from me, please.
If I'm a governor, have a commissioner, have a permanent secretary, have a accountant general, you have lots of people. So you add your own. Commissioners will add their own. The other layers will add their own. When they eventually bring it back to you, you find it very difficult not to sign it. Because your own is inside. Remember what I said. I'm not a saint. I particularly am not. People have said every accusation against me.
We verify that it's wrong.
And I said, no, let me see. And I said to them, it's a very simple thing. Go to Anambra State. In my 8 years of being governor, maybe I received probably in total money that Anambra State got from everywhere, maybe about $500 billion. In my 8 years. I saved 75% of it. So, very sorry. I saved about 10 to 15% of it. And I said to people, go to Anambra State and show me where their money is missing. This, if that was the amount, that means that the 5%, 1% of 500 billion is 5 billion. Go and show me where they're missing 5 billion. I left in 3 banks, and that eventually have been verified. In 3 banks in Nigeria, the day I left office, I left $50 million each.
Dollars.
In 3 banks, $50 million each. In Access Bank, Diamond Bank, Fidelity Bank. And I left the equivalent of $50 a naira in the 3 banks. And then, if you want the statement, I'll give you. People said to me, like I said before, why are you living that? I said, it's their money. And since I left Anambra State, Anambra have now bought me pure water. They've not bought me a bottle of water. When the house said to me, you're going to have pension, gratuity, severance, and everything, I said to them, I'll finish the job. I'm going home. So what am I trying to say? If you are not, because you are going to approve what they will steal. It's a simple thing. It starts from. But you don't know what it, you might not be, you might not even be taken, but you don't have the capacity to know what is happening. I used to tell my accountant general the balance. So it's very easy to manage. I think that's corruption. I don't know where I kept my papers. I'm just trying to find where.
Left pocket up.
Huh?
Pocket up.
In my left pocket. Okay, yes, I did.
Very good.
Issue of FDI and population. If I correct, you can't plan without statistics. It's very difficult to plan. But we have not even planned with the estimates. The only place we have estimates is in NEPA, when we want to charge bill. We use the estimated bill, but we don't use the estimated population. So, if we have planned with even the population we have, we would have gone far. But there's no, today, when you talk about development, people think development is physical development. So you go and start building in supposedly rural area, say a big 10-story building, and for you that is development. And I said to them, no, you can't develop and build physical infrastructure without building the human infrastructure.
Correct.
Correct. Thank you. It is the human infrastructure that drives the physical infrastructure. Otherwise, it will fail. And that is where the HDI must be measured. Today, Nigeria is low in HDI. Because your country is not doing that. In the year 2000, even Ghana in Africa, Vietnam, India, year 2000, all these countries I mentioned were in the low category of HDI with Nigeria. Today they've all moved. Because our leaders don't have anything to measure. You know, remember what I told you when I started that? What we do is somebody comes and says, I'm taking us to London. And we enter. Start going to Zambia. So what we do now is we don't know where we're going. None of you here. You know today you can go and find the German class. Huh? But nobody knows the plan of Nigeria. Huh? No, we have glossy paper. We have glossy paper everybody reads and launches it even with money. That is the end of it. The driver doesn't know where the paper is. The conductor has thrown it away because he wants to collect money. The consequence is that if you don't know where you're going, every road will lead you no there. Will lead you there. Because you don't know where you're going. So anywhere you land yourself, it's fine. BBC. Well, you can't see. My sister, this is not the time to struggle with my neck. I'm being honest with you. What is important is for us to have a good government. A good government will want all these things to happen. How do we stop legislation? So many people are going to qualify in the month of July, month of August, month of September, month of this. It doesn't make sense. At this time and age, you're supposed to stop it. Okay, I will take it in 1 month. But, let us try with what we have and see if we get there. Just like, why can't people in diaspora vote? It is so easy. It's so easy. You know, in today's age and time, we have embassies. We have embassies in Germany. These people are recorded, we have their record, we have everything. They just go there and vote. So, on we manage all this transition. Internal security and external security. Well, I agree with somebody who said about external security. But you know, when you have a multi-faceted problem, you start dealing with the, like I told the person who told me, let me tell you one of my experience. Somebody came once when I was a member of economic management team of the president. Somebody came to tell us how we can build nuclear power to solve so use it as power, to use it to solve our power problem. So when the person finished presentation and they said I should comment, I said, well, I'm more worried that there is no road between Ore and Benin. Let's not get into what we don't know about. We have not used coal, we have abundant coal. We are not using. We have abundant gas, no using. You are going to nuclear one that nearly killed everybody in Japan. So, what am I trying to say? Give a external war. We have internal war already. Let's deal with it. When the external people come, we beg them. We have a crisis. And I want you people, when we are doing this evening, my dear people, what I'm doing with you people now, for the average person who is engaged in politics now, is waste of time. Yes, sir. That's how it's seen. It's a waste of time. But that's how people in Germany here, that's how Angela Merkel was going everywhere to campaign. Am I right? In Nigeria, it's waste of time. What is all this thing that he's doing? Going all over the place by speaking. What does he think he's doing? Because we used to people not coming to us, and suddenly we land there and start creating confusion and we're not quarreling. What is this man? But we are here when this man was us. We refuse to stop him. When they start telling you where is he, and that is what somebody said there. We will not worry about those. Don't worry about those who are coming around me. I always say people, it was the same teachers who used to teach before I came, and we were 26, that we used to be number one. When they found out that I come to work by 7:30, everybody comes to work by 7:30. That is why you're very critical and involved. That's how Marco will stand and take questions from students to everybody, go to every corner to campaign. For how many people of us have come to campaign to you? Nobody cares. You will even be here. And they send you and they tell you, some of you are members of PDP, some of you are members of APC, some of you are members of anything, and they just don't come. They don't care about you. Because it's not about you. So that's where we are. So once again, I thank you people. I don't want to thank you this time.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. P2B, you're welcome, sir. My question is, do you in any way envisage, of course you're already elected by my own permutation, but do you in any way envisage having a National Assembly that is not comprised in majority Labour Party members? And how do you intend to play or go through the murky waters of getting your job done?
Your name, please.
Thank you very much, sir.
What's your name?
My name is Chuma. Am I agreed?
Thank you. We want a lady now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter Obi. My name is Ifoma from Anambra State. I want to ask a question in the aspect of education, especially the primary and the secondary school. I studied in Ukraine for 6 years, and I happen to work as a professional English teacher in one of the schools in Ukraine. Ukraine. I came from Ukraine. I fled from Ukraine during the war. I'm here now. So I want to know, what are your plans for the kids, especially the primary and the secondary school, to, give this called scholarship, like free education for the primary and the secondary school. I want to know your purpose and what you have in that aspect, because working as an English teacher back in Ukraine, I know what I saw there and the quality education given to kids over there. Just like you said, that knowledge is power. It's not all about the knowledge, but the structural knowledge. So what do you have for the kids in Nigeria, the primary and the secondary school, giving them this free education? Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have taken enough from this side. Let's get over to the other side so that it will be fair and balanced. I have an elder here.
I introduce myself. I am Daniel Ubari. I studied medicine in Germany and practiced medicine in Germany. I practiced medicine still in Germany. Some years in the late 80s, when Governor Mbappe, he came to Germany, so I helped him in the areas where I could. So the operations and every other thing, of course, I said to him, okay. He was frequently coming down to Germany. My question here is, what do you have as something which will change the face of medicine in Nigeria? Because the health of the people is very, very important to my heart, and the healthy nation is a happy nation. Is it so?
It is. Thank you, sir.
So we have this question I'm asking is, what do you think you can bring in, at least in order to transfer, those things, expectations which we think Nigerians deserve to live longer? Now, because the age limit of Nigerians, about 10 years ago, I could, in some researches which I've made and lectures, so women had about the age of women were around the 52, men were lagging behind 47. So around this time in which we are now, it has increased a little bit. Notwithstanding, the situation in our hospitals is very, very miserable. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
What can you do to help us so that Nigerians will feel happy and live? Many doctors are leaving Nigeria, going to other places. So this is the problem.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Health. A healthy nation is a wealthy nation. I will go for a lady now and then one final guy. Where is the look? Are you a lady?
No, my hand has been
Okay, sir. My name is Lady, and my question is regarding my question is regarding the exchange rate and the forex market in Nigeria. What plans do you have? Do you plan to maintain the forex market as it is, or do you plan to combine it, or where the CBN gives its own rate and we have another rate on the parallel market as well?
Thank you. Okay. Then the final guy.
$1 to $1
for the first fight.
Yes, sir. Your Excellency, it's a pleasure. Now, the Sustainable Development Goals is something a lot of people think is only made for countries, but what we don't realize is most of the major companies now are using it. Nike, Shell. The company I work for that most of you shop at, Primark, everybody knows it, uses SDP. Now we have 17 goals. Each goal is very detailed. Right? It's very detailed. By the time you get into office, 7 years left. How do we prioritize which of these goals to deal with? Thank you, sir.
Okay, we have 5 right. We are running short of time. He takes this one. If he's still in the mood to take more, we will. If not, I will have to apologize.
Hello? Okay. Let me just quickly start with somebody who talked about sustainable development goals. Let me assure you, again, this is for you to go and verify. I became the governor of Anambra in 2000. I became the governor of Anambra State in 2006. March. I was impeached. It was a very difficult time. I was impeached 6 months after. And I came back 3 months after. I was removed again because of an election in about 4 months. So I actually became governor of Anambra State late 2007. MDG, which was what preceded SDG, started in 2000 year 2000. It was year 2000 to year 2015. As governor of Anambra State, we started the implementation of MDG in 2008. When he has already done 7 years. By the time it was concluded in year 2015, Anambra State was #1 in MDG. I was even invited to speak on what we did by United Nations in New York, to know what we did. And that brings into the question, that he asked. How are we going to deal with the issue of health? When he asks question about HDI is driven by 3 components. Number 1 issue in HDI is life expectancy, which is health. Nigerian life expectancy today, the global average today is 75 years. Nigeria is about 54. So we are actually 21 years below the average. Nigeria, as you know, have just overtaken India in infant mortality. We actually estimated to overtake India in 2024, but we were 2 years ahead of target. So it's critical. Primary health is very important in Nigeria. As no one when I started. There was no single school of nursing or school of midwifery. Go and ask how many in Anambra State today. Health is important, it's critical. Same thing goes to the lady that asked about primary education. The foundation of the society is basic education, which is primary education. Today, countries with half of our population gets more even diaspora remittances than we. Yes. Philippines today have over 50 million diaspora. Leave Philippines. Come to Africa. Egypt today gets more diaspora remittances than us. Almost 30 billion. Ours is going down. Why? Because if you go around, yesterday, I used 2 Ubers. One was Filipino, one was Egyptian, the other one was from somewhere in Asia. If you go to Dubai, all you see is same thing. Egyptians are all over the place, doing minicab and everywhere. Because they're educated, they have basic education. Ours are the ones who didn't educate yesterday. They are the ones kidnapping us now. It is important. Extremely important. So not just in Ukraine. If we had done that, we would have had people in famine. That's why they say Ukraine has grain issues affecting Nigeria. What are we to do with Ukraine? Grain issues. We should be giving people the world. We should replace the grain that the world is looking at. When Ukraine can no longer supply them. National Assembly. I said this year that I was impeached. I have worked with, was governor, worked with 30 all the members of Assembly. None came from my party. That was the reason why they impeached me. But that wasn't the reason entirely. But when they realized, when everybody realized where I was going to, they were the best house I worked with. Had 30 member PDP, and I was happy. And everything went very well. And it's very simple. When you do the right thing, you embrace the people. They'll checkmate the others for you. When the people realize where I can tell you, my impeachment was actually God sent. Impeachment, for those who know it, that was how I completed my tenure. Because it opened the eyes of so many people. I was impeached for 3 things. I'm not talking about impeachment today, so I won't dwell on it. 3 items brought out my impeachment. Those of you who knew Anambra knew that the House, the governor, my predecessor, had issued with some people, and they burned the office of the governor, and burned the governor's law. So when I became governor, there was no house, there was no governor's house, there was no governor's office. They had an approval that year to repair the governor's office, 208 million naira. To repair the lodge, rebuild the lodge, and refurbish it was to cost us 486 million. This is an approved budget. It wasn't me who approved it. I was not part of it. But when I came in, found out what we were saying, that we need to focus on education. So we threw more money to education. I needed to cut every cost of everything in my office. So I started, instead of this contract that I've been given to somebody, sort of, that I'll do it direct level. For the 298 million naira, we budgeted to fix the office. It cost me 43,200,000. So I did it, and I did it, and everything was very new. The only thing I didn't buy new was the table. Because there was no, it's not as if I bought it, but there's a table used by one of the governors that left since. And it was there. So, and they found out it's a very good table. Except that it just needs to be cleaned up. And people say, oh, table, this is table, table is table. There's no reason, and there's nothing in table. It's just to write. Of course, to refurbish the office of the governor, the house of the governor, 486 million, everything took us 81 million. Because they had an idea to buy bed, imported bed, this, that, so it doesn't concern me. There must be somebody in Oka who can do it. It doesn't really matter. If you have reason not to sleep, even if they put you in the best bed in the world, you'll be awake. For me, it doesn't really matter which bed. Yes, sir. And today, the guy that did my bed in Oka is employing over 100 workers. Wow. But I was doing my service, you can do it. They want leather chair, this is chair. Cover it with leather. It becomes leather chair. What makes the chair leather chair? You know, somebody wrote what Bianca wrote about me. Don't know what any of you read it. And the person said to me, Peter, if it wasn't Bianca saying it, I won't believe it. I said, let me tell you. This is easy. If you don't know, it's your imagination, everything. You know, it's at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether this clothes are well. It's sold $1,000. Or it's sold $50. I'm wearing a cloth. If I actually want to be fantastic, you go naked. Everybody will see you. Everybody will see you. I think you wear a cloth. By now we live here 2 days. Some people will be saying, you don't know that man. You don't know that lady was wearing purple. The other one is going wearing it. Okay, I can't remember. If you remember her, but if any of us goes naked here, people will know. Everybody will remember the person. So, for me, I'm not saying people should. But that was why I was impeached. 2 items. Number 3 items, I was saving money. And I told them that from day one, you can't finish everything. Because this money we are spending today is all your money that belongs to our children as well. So, you can manage National Assembly. Again, if you are not doing the wrong thing, you have to do the right thing. Politics, exchange rate. Managing exchange rate is the thing. I said it before. Managing production. Vietnam used to be one of the highest importer of rice. Vietnam now exports rice. I told you before, Nigeria is a country of 200 million people living on 923,000 square kilometers of land. And their total export, let me even use their own rate, it's 50, let me use it, not for 50 billion naira, using the official rate.
$50 billion.
It's not enough. Vietnam is 100 million, which is half the population of Nigeria. Because we are 200 million, they are 100. Vietnam lives on 331,000 square kilometers of land. So they live on a third of our land space. Their total export last year is $312 billion. So for Vietnam, it was $3,000 per head. In fact, $3,100 per head. Production. Simple.
Thank you.
If you produce more and export, you earn more dollars. That's how to keep your money strong. Otherwise, you're going to have all these 30 exchange rates. It's not necessary. When Nigeria was good, we were not having multiple. We were you just go to the bank and you exchange your money. The production. What is keeping Germany? Production. What is keeping countries? Production. Once you're producing, once you're doing the right thing, that's it. What I said here, we move the country from consumption to production. Reduce corruption, build confidence, secure the country. You build intangible assets that will attract investors. There's money all over the world looking for where to invest. But you have to make your house clean. You have to clean up yourself. You have to do the right thing. You have to have leaders who have capacity and energy. Not when you're carrying people in wheelchair going all over the place. You don't come here and do money. That's not how it works. Somebody said to me yesterday, Peter, you're in London. I just saw you speak at the NBA on Monday, and I saw you with this governor. I said, I'm going to be in Germany today, and tomorrow I'm in Italy. On Sunday, I'm going to speak at an event in Canada. And I said, Monday, I'm in telephone. He said, Peter, I think what do you think you're doing? This thing you're doing is not the way to do this thing. How is it being done? Because we've done it the wrong way all this while. And that's what people are doing when you change. Let's do it how other people are doing it. Let's know how. And Jamato comes back here from one meeting, jumps to another meeting. When it's time, you retire. Don't go and start wasting everybody's time.
Okay.
No, that's it.
5 more questions.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Chidi. My name is Chidi. Okay. Can I ask my question? Okay. My question is on the security of the Southeast. You were a one-time governor of Anambra State. I happened to live in Anambra State, in Onitsha, when you were governor. My father was a pastor in Awada. So we knew about the security issue and how you tackled it to the standstill. My question is, looking at the deteriorating security issue of Anambra, Imo State, Abia State, what is your plan, even before the election itself? Do you have a plan to reach out to some of these people who are playing these roles to make the state ungovernable? And even after you win the presidency, what is your plan? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. A woman now.
You are women.
A woman.
You are welcome, Chairman. We appreciate you. Anyway, my name is Christian Udeki. I'm from Enugu State, Nigeria. Sir, there's a question I want to ask. And this very question goes, many Nigerians have been clamoring for this question to be answered. It's a $1 million question. And this question is, are you going to restructure Nigeria? If yes, please tell us how you are going to do it. I don't have much time, but please, let me pass it.
Thank you. No way.
I come from the States.
Stop.
Can we please grant him the audience to ask his question?
Start with your name again, sir.
Thank you. My name is Idi Guga Audu, and I come from Gombe State. My background is in agricultural engineering. I had PhD in food engineering and bioprocess technology. Wow. I did my PhD in Thailand. My question is related to agriculture in terms of sustainability, the issue of climate change, which has a possibility of affecting our production. So how do you intend to integrate sustainability in terms of environment protection and also agricultural production? The second question is, how do you intend to empower the communities or the local people? For example, you say that you were impeached. Is it possible for us to recall back those that we elected if they are not doing what we asked them to do? We need to be empowered. So how can we be empowered so that we can recall these kind of people that will go and be doing things that are not of interest to the community? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Everybody wants to talk.
Welcome, Mr. Pitobi. My name is Stanley Achibiri. So my question has to do with my experience when I was at the university in Futo. So during our final years, we do projects. Engineering students, we design equipment and manufacturing equipment, things, and test them and it works. And most times after doing this, then you see a mechanical engineer ending up in bank in Nigeria, working as a banker. So how do we harness this talent from the university so that we can use it to develop technology in Nigeria? Thank you.
Beautiful question.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much. My name is Onyebuchi Ogogo. I'm from Anambra State. I was still in when P2B was the president, was the governor of Anambra State. Straight to my question, please. Everybody has asked many questions. Let me go to a particular area that we don't look at, but it can generate millions of dollars for Nigeria. I'm talking about sports. We neglect it a lot in Nigeria, but this angle can take the youth off the streets and at the same time earn Nigeria money in millions of dollars. We neglect it a whole lot in Nigeria. I'm a sports person. I left Nigeria and I was sad because I'm involved in sports. But due to the fact that I didn't have the opportunity to advance in certain aspects, I had to leave to come and develop myself better. So we can, when I see youths fight in the street, motorbikes, you see conductors fight, these people can be turned to UFC fighters. And they can earn. So, Mr. President, please, to tell us how you intend to develop sports in Nigeria. Please, thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Nigerians. My question is this. What is your plan concerning, because in my own view, Nigerian progress started with our judicial system. In a situation whereby there is a corrupt people we know physically, not minding their account. We know these people are corrupt. And nobody, not ex-president, have gone through, because here in Germany, they can check what you get from this. The first day you started work here, to their retirement, they know what you earn. In Nigeria, you saw somebody who is not even have to 100,000 in the beginning. When he finished office, you saw him with millions and billions of dollars, and nobody's talking about it. And I believe it's the judicial system, because they are the ones that condone these people. What was the question? My question is, what are you going to do by in like judicial system, the judicial system, because they are the ones condone these corrupt people that we know that nobody talked about it and protect them.
What do you intend to do about the judiciary when you get into office?
Let me just plead. I know a lot of you. I know a lot of you want to ask questions. I will plead. We've done about 30. And I will plead,
You'll be traveling tomorrow.
When Sonny said to me, we're going to be here 7 to 10, I said we're going to be here 7 to 10:30. And he said, no, I said, don't worry. At least I'm sure I'll be standing for 2 hours. I'll plead. When we finish this one, because of 1 or 2 things, I will stop. Those who didn't answer their question will have opportunity of even doing so by mail. Or even some of them I might say answer as to deal with other issues tonight. Someone talking about security, Southeast. And he said you knew what happened while I was there. Dealing with security is a lot of combination of a lot of things. Let us not be shy. There's agitations all over Nigeria today. Whether it's in the southeast, in the southwest, in the north, and south. All those agitations are again cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. And we must allow and listen to everybody. in dialogue. I've always said it. I believe in dialogue. I believe in everything. Even in my house, my children disagree with me. My wife disagrees with me. And I tell them, because I want a peaceful, because I'm a father who wants a peaceful house, I sit down and dialogue and talk to them. I can tell you today, if my wife said you will go, I will beg her not to go. And she knows it's the case. Because I will check, if this woman goes now, who will lose more? They won't even believe that she went. They say, Peter is in, he has sacked his wife. They won't believe that she wants to go. So it's me who will lose more. So I'm begging her to stay. I don't think there's I'm just using family to show you, I don't think there's any peaceful place. Not true. I've told my own children, when they talk about marriage, I said, you see your mom and everybody, see your uncle, say, we're celebrating 20 years, 10 years of happy marriage, 30 years. It's not true. there's no 1 year of happy marriage. I said, they're telling you, they're celebrating years of surviving plan. Because a human being disagrees. That's what they're celebrating. It is not agreeing to quarrel and agree worthwhile. Same thing goes with the society. People can say, no, I don't want to live here. Okay, come, let's talk. My children tell me that these are the people whom I know. If they go, in my own house, so I know that if they go, they don't even have any place to go. But they still tell me, Dad, if it's like that, I say, okay, come and sit down. That was what happened then when I was there in the talking. I sat down and talked with everybody. Because when things are going wrong, everybody wants to go his own way. This time, I have followed the history. You know, like this, there's disagreements. Over the years, for every country, it is something you sit down. So, issue of security, I've told you how I was going to deal with it. You put poor people out of poverty. There's no place where you have separatists like you have it in South America, Brazil and everything. But the more the economy got better, those things on their own, because when people are engaged, they go off on things. Issue of restructuring. I've talked a lot about this. And somebody said, let me tell you, restructure is for the interest of the country. You're not doing anybody a favor. Even those who are against it will benefit more. Because it will make every component of the country productive. For example, why is Nigeria against state police? It doesn't make sense to me. Why couldn't every state protect themselves? What's wrong with state police? Why would Nigeria, why would they allow education to be run by states? It doesn't make sense to me because the entire university in Nigeria has a population of less than 3 million, which is just what 2 universities in Bangladesh is. For God's sake, if people in another place want to put all their people in school, let them put their people in school. It's effectively than competition. It's done like that all over the world. So you started, when it's not something you can do overnight. What at times disturbs me is that people think that the structure can bring this automatic. No. I've said it. The vehicle the way it is today has an engine problem. So change of driver might not make the vehicle to move. We need to fix the engine. So that's where the structure comes. But the driver, we have to have a good driver. We cannot continue with the driver who knock the engine first. Yeah. So when we have a good driver, it's easier. Agriculture and climate control. Prof. I need to work with Prof. I need to learn. If I tell you I know about what this question asked me, it's not true. I'm not fast with climate control. You know? I want you to give me a paper on it. And what is happening? That's why I'm telling son, you must help me. You know, because like I said, it's about learning. I took it very, very personal. I want to learn more about that. It's extremely important. Son, I need paper from Prof. Oh, okay. Please. I want to learn from Prof. You know. The call of elected politicians. Let me tell you, there won't be need for the call. Once you start doing the right, everybody will know. You know, when people talk about it, there's nothing to worry about. Harnessing engineering in talent. Let me tell you why an engineer went to a bank. Because there's no opportunity in engineering. Simple. Doctors here don't end up in the bank. Today? No. Because there's opportunity in medicine. In Nigeria, they end up in bank. Because you've done the wrong thing. You not build a professional system that allows the lecturer in the university to do his work. Tell me how you can be doing research. A professor to write books when your government are negotiating with bandits. It doesn't make sense. They can't sit down with a professor. I university on strike now for 5 months. Professors are being treated like nobody. If you shut down university education here, for 1 month, first of all, you won't be in office again. Small issue. My brother, I'm happy he said he lives in Onitsha. Yes. When I was governor, it was surprising the day I became governor. Onitsha have no single stadium. You know that. Very well, sir. One of the biggest things that happened, one of the biggest quarrel I had as a governor, because yes, for 8 years I was quarreling with him, was issue of Onitsha stadium. You know that. By the time I became governor, there were 2 stadiums I know in Onitsha. They've become local government office. So I went to Onitsha and said, please, I want local government to move out of here so I can turn it into stadium it used to be. The local government sued me to court. They refused to go. But luckily for me, the court was to come up on Tuesday, on Sunday, I demolished the entire office. That's how, you might not know the importance of Onitsha sports. The first football club ever owned by an individual in Onitsha was owned by Justice Ibas. Ibas without tables. That's the first private club. You know, the longest serving national captain is Godwin Achebe. You know, because we don't have this. So I'm not down here on it. I'm not local government headquarters. Built a new local government headquarters within 6 months. Not down here on it, South One, to build the stadium, which I named this one in Basel, the other one, Godwin Achebe. Let me tell you, my brother, we don't know the value of sports. Jamaica uses sports to reduce criminality.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
That's why I said that the leader must have competence, so he must have knowledge to know what's happening.
No, please.
So the leader must know the values of what is looking for. When you have a leader who doesn't understand the impact of what is happening, which is what I'm saying. When you go and carry somebody in a wheelchair, to go and start causing confusion all over the place, you will understand me. And that's what our people are doing. And they're telling you it's not this thing. Judiciary system.
You know the feeling.
The judiciary is not our problem. The problem is the society. Let me tell you, the problem is all of you here. If I say I want to buy a house in China tomorrow now, you'll be shocked. It is Nigerians who will be showing me where the good houses are. You'll be shocked. When I went to be governor, when I said I'm contesting governor, I didn't have a house in my village. So I go to my village and say, I want to be governor. You know the first thing they told me? How come? He doesn't even have a house in the village. I said, I want to be governor. I didn't say I want to build a house. They say, how come? He doesn't know what he's talking about. They want me to build one. So I went, became a governor. So he hasn't built the house in the village. My late mother built the house in the village. And because we were boys, this number of boys, he built it in a flat and I have my own flat. So why do you want me to build another one? I have three rooms there. The next 3 rooms were not for me. But I have 2 kids. They're not students. So me and my wife sleeps in one. They have one. So what again? But they want us to build a new one. And it's like that today. And it's all say, hey, Peter, listen, you know, we can't understand you. So we say, maybe there's something. Maybe they do this. Maybe something is done. Maybe it's something he did here. Why can't this man have a house? But I have a house. So, but what happens? If they have time they elected me governor, within 6 months, I come and build one massive thing, bring bishop, bring everybody, I say I build Thanksgiving. The same people who knew I did not have a house will come there, be praying for me wherever I got the money. See what and you're not blaming the children. These are the people who are supposed to call police. I said, but they know where the money came from. They are not the ones celebrating. No. Because we all celebrate the criminality. Somebody said when he saw me traveling, he saw me carrying my bag. Yes, I did it as a government. Why would I be traveling with people who are not invited to where I'm going, have no contribution to where I'm going, have nothing? It's not only me now talking for the past 3 hours. So if 3 people are come with me, what would they be doing? And I'll pay their bills. So everybody must have a value before you enter the bus. If you don't have anywhere to go, please stay home. Whatever it is that I do, that's it. And that's all. And that's how I'm going to do all my trips. That's because the other people, what are they going to be doing? Wherever I'm going to meet people there. If it's people who clap, so why do I have to pay for people who eat or doing nothing? So my dear people, I plead with you. Let us take this issue serious. Young men will talk about sports. Sports is critical. But what is more critical is for you to use whatever means you have, whatever social media, anywhere, to tell, unless you have a committed, visionary leader with capacity and competence, forget it. That's what drives the society. Thank you and God bless you.
Well, please just take a seat for a moment, and then we just please. It is uncalled for that somebody has to lose his telephone here. Somebody plugged his telephone on the socket there. Somebody else removed it. Please, take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. You will have opportunities for that. Take your seat. Take your seat.
So everyone, it's been a very interesting experience for the last couple of hours. We have been, you've been listening to the man himself, Mr. Pitobi. He has been speaking to us. Nigerians are really happy that he has been speaking to us for the past 3.5 hours. It's not easy. I know that many of you will be wondering what is happening. Like I promised us that as long as most of these things are, that on this platform we keep promise, and when we make promises we keep. I told us that we will be bringing you as Mr. Incoming President, and if there is anywhere he goes, we will be bringing you there. And in the last 3 hours, non-stop, we've been here bringing that to you. Now, he is about to, the event is about to end. We will go into the second phase, which is the dinner and private session. We are Nigerians, we sit around and they will then ask questions. But there is something he said, and that this is very important, that there is something he says. It doesn't matter which party you belong to. It doesn't matter who you're supporting. But can you please do the following? Can you ensure that your demands, the same way we program, the same way he speaks to you, telling you these are the things we can do. These are the A, B, C's that we can do. The same thing with other candidates. It is our time to begin to demand that they speak to us. It's not too much to ask for. Simple. How are they going to do this? Itemize those questions that Nigerians in the diaspora, especially Nigerians in Germany, that is in Frankfurt, have asked. If you itemize these questions, can we take these questions to Congress? Can we take these questions to the local? And can we take these questions to Atik? Let them share their views. Yesterday, His Excellency Mr. Pitobi was in London. I had the opportunity to be with him. Today, he is here in Frankfurt, and I have the opportunity and privilege to be with him. On my own coalition, on my own account. No, oh God, no, they give such. No, they give. He said it. He looks with no one. But there comes a time in a generation that people may want to begin to take note of certain events and certain happenings. And like I said on this platform, we will keep doing our best to bring these to you. Therefore, if you like, we do, you can support us. You can always do that by using the super sticker and the to do the need. What we do is, we have a commitment here, and our commitment is total. Our commitment is that we will keep bringing these things through. Tomorrow, as early as 7 o'clock, he's headed off again to Rome in the Vatican City. And I make a promise again to us. Man says, okay, we will be bringing these again tomorrow in Rome. Whatever that is happening, you will be saved.